Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Small goals make a big difference. That's what we're going to talk about today. But before we start that, I'd like to say good morning to my buddy, my best friend, Eva. Good morning, Eva. How are you?
Good morning. How are you today? I'm good.
I kind of think I love this topic. We're coming up on a new year. And I think small goals are better than big goals, because it's not that big goals don't count, but I kind of feel like the smaller goals build up to the bigger goal. How's that sound? Does that sound like it makes some sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that. So, it's interesting because I have this mirror on my closet door, is a giant mirror. And somewhere in 2019, I don't know when, I wrote down all these goals that I had. I mean, so many big goals, like get out of debt and have a #1 podcast and a #1 selling book and be a highly paid public speaker, like all of these just like really big life goals, and every day I would look at them and go, what am I doing today to reach that goal, to have that be something attainable? And just yesterday, I said, you know what? I just need to erase all this. And it was already starting to fade. And I thought, we're coming into a new year. I need to write some new goals. And maybe those are not goals that I still have in my heart, but really chunking it down to something that I can do today, or just this month, or even just this year, because all of those goals are going to take so many small goals to even hit maybe one of those in my life. And so that's what my thought was how do I chunk these things down into just being small, attainable goals? I mean, one of the goals I had is like getting more fit and just really committing to some sort of health plan. And I would usually just write run a half marathon, because for me, if having a goal out there makes me feel like, okay, I can do this. But then just starting, it's so hard to even start when your goal is so big, because you don't even know where to start. So that's why I thought small goals. Yes. How do I make this smaller? And how do we all do that? And why is that important? Because sometimes those big goals we're never going to get there if it just seems so out of reach and it seems so big.
Well, that's why I think of people always saying, oh, I'm not doing a New Year's resolution this year. I never do it anyway. I mean, it lasts for about a month and then it's over with. So I think that's the cool thing about this topic today, is because it doesn't have to be gone in 30 days, especially if you make a goal that, maybe have like at the top, have a few columns, and have like your big goal be the third column. But what are the small goals that are going to perpetuate the big goal? So like, for instance, we both have a goal of eating healthier and, exercising more and having a more fit life. So I think for us, instead of just saying we're going to do a marathon, which we might, right? Yep. But let's just start that, what? Eva and Shelley are going to walk for sure 2 or 3 days a week for a half an hour. And then the next month we could say, okay, we've done that for a month. That's for babies. Now we're going to really get into this. And we can keep adding to it every month and kind of switching things over, because if we don't start out a new way, then we're going to look at it. It's almost like we say, lay a brick every day to get somewhere. If we don't set a goal monthly, I think just like most people say, by the end of 30 days, whatever. And then you forget about it. And then you wait 3 more months and you go, oh my gosh, I just put on another 5 pounds.
Right, right. Yeah, it's something simple. Like, what would be an attainable, reachable goal that you can find success in? I can't remember who I was listening to. I don't remember. Could be David Goggins, could be someone else like that, like a fitness kind of guru dude. And the goal, what he had said was to be able to reach those big goals is really making small goals that you can achieve. So what can you do? What will you commit to? If that's if that's doing 10 push-ups a day, that's what I'm going to commit to. Or it's doing 60 seconds of exercise, or I'm going to go sprint, or a 20-minute workout. I can commit to a 20-minute workout Monday through Friday. Whatever it is for you, but setting something that is that you without even thinking, you're like, yeah, of course I can do that. Because then once you're able to do that, and you see that you're holding that commitment to yourself and you're holding yourself accountable to that, you're going to be so much more likely to say, heck, I'm already on the road. I might as well run for another 5 minutes, or I might as well push myself a little bit more. You know what? Today I'll do 20 push-ups instead of just the 10. I have a little bit of extra time. But making that goal small enough that you feel like you can really do it, you're more likely to actually achieve it. So Stephen Covey, one of the Coveys, begin with the end in mind. So if the end goal is run a half marathon, but I haven't ran in, I don't know, weeks now, couple weeks, but getting back on that Peloton app and doing a 20-minute workout, say 3 days a week, or a 20-minute running thing 3 days a week. I can do that. I can commit to that. And that doesn't feel like so long and so hard. So that would be one of the strategies that I would suggest to people, is to chunk it down so where it just seems like, of course I can do that, where it's not even a challenge for you to be able to post one thing a day or reach out to one person or whatever to be able to reach that goal.
I think the buddy system is a big deal too. A lot of times, if you have a buddy to do it, that, it's hard sometimes to find somebody that has the same schedule. But if you can find somebody that has a similar schedule with you, especially now that we can't go to the gym, we've got to. But I think your idea too, which was great, you told me the other day, for those of you who want to do exercise, was the Peloton app is very inexpensive, and you don't have to have a Peloton. That you said the people are really motivating, right? Can you tell us about that?
Oh, yeah. So not that I'm a paid affiliate for Peloton, but I might as well be, because I thought it was fantastic. The gal who does my nails, she said, I said to her, I thought you had to have the bike or a treadmill or something. And she's like, no, you don't have to have anything. Like, you can just use the app. It's $12 or $13 a month. And on there, they have everything from yoga and all these different workouts, to stretching and all these different workouts, to outdoor running and all these different workouts, to, of course, the Peloton features, to just strength training. So you pick what you want to work on. And then there's all these different trainers and all these different times. And I've used the a leg workout, which made me so sore. They also has like levels of difficulty. And so I must have chose a really hard one, because after that, I couldn't walk for like almost a week. So that was probably a little bit too much. But the outdoor running one, I loved. It was this really inspirational, motivational gal. I had her in my ear. I felt like she was running right next to me. We listened to some country music, and it was not hard to do.
That sounds so much fun. And you really then don't have to have a buddy. That person is your buddy. Like you said, you feel like you were together and you're not alone. So I guess that would be our challenge for those of us who want to do, the healthcare, self-help for that is a good one. But what about other things in our lives that, small goals are? I think one for me is that just having goals, since we can't really go anywhere these days, you kind of have to have different goals for business, or, different ways to strategize, even doing Zoom calls, and really trying to find different avenues of how you can get somewhere versus going there, and sometimes that can be really challenging.
Yep, I totally agree. And that's why I think seeing what your end goal is, like what do you want to become or what do you want to achieve, and then really making it feasible. So like if you wanted to write your book this year, right? It's just open my computer and do the outline. That's going to be the goal for the next 2 weeks. So every day you might open it and think about it and write down ideas. You're just brainstorming, right? You're just putting down ideas of different chapter headings or things you might want to write about or whatever. You're breaking it down in such a way that it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm going to write a book this year. Okay, good luck, trying to just figure out how to maneuver that, but really making small baby steps. And then even as you start to get into some of the goals that you want to pursue, a lot of times I don't know all the steps. I have no idea how to do 100
I bet you YouTube knows.
Be able to do. But yeah, you learn along the way as you go. You just go, okay, obviously my next step is for me marketing the book. I don't know how to market a book. So that would be a goal, is like, I'm going to learn one new thing about marketing. I'm going to learn, and then I see all this stuff about Google and SEOs. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to go learn about that. So then I'll spend the next week in that goal of just being able to understand one little tiny aspect. And then I'll build upon that with something else. And then I'll build upon that with something else. So you don't have to lay out your entire plan of what your goal is. Really, it's just, what can I do this week? And then once you've done that, you can either perfect it or you can add the next step onto whatever it is that you want to do.
And I don't think we have to have a ton of goals. If people say like, oh, I don't even know what a goal is. What do I need a goal for? Just try to even think of one. I think one great goal, even if it's a short-term goal, whatever that might look like to you, I think that that's a great thing. It could be mending a relationship. It could be starting a class. It could be so many, writing a book, so many different things.
And I think too, remember we had, I think it was Wendy that was on our show, one of our very first guests. And I loved how she talked about her New Year's resolutions and goals. And she didn't have things like what we've been talking about so far. Her goals were, she wanted to learn, let's say, more patience. So that was a goal for her, is patience. And then in each experience that she was having, that was just the word that she would put over her heart and over her mind and over her eyes as she would handle each experience that would come her way. Is I'm here to learn more patience. So whatever experience came her way, it was, how do I look at this through the lens of patience? So I think a goal would be something to really think about between now and the new year, is pick a word that you really want to embody. And I think we could even make this a whole podcast episode, but really pick a word that you want to embody and then be intentional about living from that place. And even if it's just in small ways, like let's just say patience is one that I would want to work on. So maybe 100 times in the day, I'm not patient. And then I realize, oh, wait, okay, that's right, I'm working on patience. And so the next opportunity I get, I'm going to do it. And that might be something with the kids or something, and something
being positive.
Yeah.
Even through all this craziness, positive is a really good one. And, sometimes that can be really challenging. So even if you do it for a week, challenge yourself to that for a week, not even for a month, a day.
Yes, just a day. Pick a word and see if you can look through that word for the day and act from a place of what that word means. And I think that's such a beautiful way to look at it, because then you're really evolving every aspect of your life, not just your work, not just your relationships, not just your personal self-care and love or your family or whatever. It's really just across the board, being more positive, being more patient, being more encouraging, being more courageous. I mean, there's so many beautiful words out there that people could utilize to really help them, because when you do whatever that word is that comes to you, it's probably one that you do want to work on, and then everything else in your life will start to blossom and flow a little bit more, because you're embodying this word that deep down you kind of should work on a little bit and become a little bit better at.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I love it. And that's what we're talking about, to have flow in your life. That's the whole point of this. It's just like us. Every day we do a little bit of flow for all of our viewers out there. And I love this topic. This was so good today.
Yes, me too. Me too. And I really want everyone to get out there and set those goals for themselves, make them attainable. And if you have questions for us, or you know someone who would be amazing to have on the podcast, shoot us an email, set2lovepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us online at set2love.com. My book, I don't have a copy of it here. Oh, it's still out. Still out on Amazon, The Flow Life Funnel.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Go get it. I must have given away the one that I had next to me. But it is still available on Amazon. It's doing, there it is. Yay.
Oh, wait,
Here's
here we
what I
go.
want to say about setting these little goals with this book. And the last thing we'll say is it's so, really where this book is trending, which I mean, I maybe kind of thought it would, but is in the teen and young adult section. So young people, like, are you just graduating high school? Are you going to be graduating? Are you graduating college? Are you not sure where you're going, in your life, or what you should be doing, or what goals you should be setting? This is such important work that you can do for yourself. Really self-awareness. Our whole podcast is all about self-leadership, self-awareness, and this book is a great guide for you. So it is very, very short read and is available on Amazon for you all to download, share with someone you love, especially someone, or, you could be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, going through that midlife transition, that going from one chapter to the next. This will also help you, because that's when I wrote it, in that transition, trying to figure everything out. So, all right, great episode.
Right.
Yay. Thank you, friend.
Thank you. Hit the bell, everybody. Please subscribe. We really want to hear from you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Love you guys.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell.